And as you heard from Damien, Bronny James, cardiac arrest and hospitalization has stunned a lot of people, but the care he got in the moments right after his collapse helped save his life.
To see what kind of medical and courtside support student athletes have here in Arizona, 13 News reporter Andres Rendon spoke with the UA Director of Athletic Medicine about how faculty and staff are ready to make sure everyone is in top shape.
Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death among young athletes. According to the Mayo Clinic, each year, 1 in 50 to 80,000 suffer sudden cardiac arrest. But for basketball players, the risk of suffering cardiac arrest can be much higher.
In men's basketball, they had a higher incidence ratio, a risk of 1 to 5,000 something compared to other sports. And the black athletes and male athletes were at higher risk too. So it was like 25% of that population was due to that. So that made a pivotal shift in terms of how we look at identifying this in the college population.
Dr. Stephen Paul is the medical director of athletic medicine for the University of Arizona. He has been helping student athletes since 1991 and currently oversees all athletics medical services. Before any Wildcat can step foot on the court, track, or field, he says athletes must take a pre-participation physical. And recently, Dr. Paul and his team did a full review of the rules and procedures to ensure that they were on track to keep athletes and spectators healthy.
And the point we took home was, you know, everybody has their emergency action plans, everybody has them in place and practices them, but the important thing is that you have to practice with purpose.
Dr. Paul mentions that anyone from the staff who interacts with a student athlete must undergo CPR and AED training and must take a refresher course every year. The problem, though, may be seen in high schools and rural communities that may not have the resources available to prevent a cardiac death or other injury.
They may not have that same facility, and that's what we really need to do as a community basis, is to uplift all those programs so that there's an AED at every site where you have kids playing, people are trained to use it, and people practice it and they have an emergency action plan.
On the court, seconds can be the difference between winning and losing. For an athlete suffering cardiac arrest, those same seconds can be the difference between life and death.
Do your CPR training, do your AED training, the more the better, and then practice it.
Reporting in Tucson, Andres Rendon, 13 News.